So you can't stay focused, huh? No worries. I've got your back with this world's shortest focus course, and that is going to turn you into the Sherlock Holmes of staying on track. Forget about getting distracted every 5 minutes, jumping from one tab to another, or checking your phone like it's about to explode. This course will help you lock in, cut through the noise, and actually get things done without losing your sanity. Now, over the last 40 days, I've tested every focus trick, hack, and productivity method out there, so you don't have to. I dove into pages of research, interviewed experts, and took notes like a mad scientist. And guess what? I've distilled it all down to the essentials. So buckle up because we're about to get laser focused in the next few minutes. Sound good? Let's do this. Here's the first thing you need to know. Focus is a muscle. Yep. Just like going to the gym, you have to train it and it doesn't get stronger overnight. If you've been distracted for years, it's going to take some work to rebuild that focus. But the good news is, with the right training, you can sharpen your focus like a samurai sword. The very first step to improving focus: get rid of mental clutter. Think of it like this. You wouldn't try to run a marathon with a backpack full of bricks, right? Well, trying to focus when your brain's juggling 5 million things at once is the same thing. So start by taking a deep breath and asking yourself, what's cluttering my mind right now? Social media? A snack calling your name? Your to-do list that's 10 miles long? Write it all down. Get it out of your head and onto paper and set it aside. This simple act of brain dumping can work wonders. Once that mental clutter is gone, you've freed up space for actual focus. Think of it as clearing the runway so your brain can take off. Now, we've got a clean slate. What's next? Let me introduce you to Pareto's principle, also known as the 80-20th rule. It's a game changer. Basically, 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. That means instead of trying to tackle a million things in one day, focus on the 20% of tasks that actually matter. Ask yourself, what are the 2 or 3 most important things I can do today that will make a real impact? Once you know what those tasks are, everything else can wait. But what if you're doing everything right and still getting distracted? Up next, we're going to explore one common mistake that drains your focus faster than anything else. Here's an example that Warren Buffett shared with his pilot. He asked him to list his top 25 goals and then told him to circle the top 5. The rest? Forget about them. That's right. He said to avoid the remaining 20 goals at all costs. Why? Because they distract you from the things that truly matter. Focus only on what's most important, and you'll be miles ahead of everyone else who's trying to do everything at once. Here's another fun fact. Research shows that when you try to multitask, your productivity drops by 40%. That's like trying to run on a treadmill while juggling. Eventually, something's going to hit the floor, and it's probably going to be your focus. Focus on one task at a time and go all in. You'd be surprised how much you can get done by blocking out distractions and committing to just one thing. Speaking of blocking out distractions, let's talk about time blocking. This is where the magic happens. Think of time blocking as creating little focus bubbles in your day. Protected spaces where nothing and no one can pull you off track. Aim for 90-minute blocks of deep work. Why 90 minutes? Well, science shows that 90 minutes is the sweet spot for focus. It's long enough to dive deep into a task, but not so long that your brain starts wandering. After 90 minutes, take a break, reset, and dive back in. This strategy works like a charm. But here's the thing. Don't fill your day with back-to-back time blocks. That's a recipe for burnout. Instead, schedule a few 90-minute focus sessions for your most important tasks and keep the rest of the day flexible. Personally, I like to do my heavy lifting work in the morning, then ease into lighter tasks in the afternoon. Find what works for you and stick to it. What's the one thing that constantly breaks your focus? Drop it in the comments, and let's find a solution that works. Now, about that dreaded enemy of focus, distractions. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Your phone buzzing with notifications, the tab you left open with that YouTube video you've been meaning to watch, or the endless scroll of Instagram. These things are kryptonite to your focus. So what do? Simple. Turn your distractions into dust. Start by putting your phone in another room, or at the very least, use a focus mode or an app, like Forest, that helps keep you on track. If websites are your downfall, try website blockers like Cold Turkey or Freedom to lock you out of those attention-sucking rabbit holes. This might feel extreme at first, but trust me, it's worth it. Once you get into a groove without distractions, you'll wonder how you ever survived working with them in the first place. Now that you've cleared distractions and blocked out time, let's dive into optimizing your focus with techniques like Pomodoro. So, you've minimized distractions, but what if your focus still takes a hit? You sit down to work and bam, you hit a wall. Your brain feels like it's running through mud and you can't get anything done. Enter the Pomodoro Technique. It's super simple. You work for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, and repeat. After 4 rounds, you take a longer break, like 20 or 30 minutes. Why does this work? It breaks your work into small, manageable chunks, making it easier for your brain to focus on the task at hand. And the best part? It keeps you from burning out. Think of it as sprints instead of marathons. You push hard for 25 minutes, take a quick breather, and then dive back in. The result? More focus, less fatigue. Still struggling with staying in the zone? Coming up, I'll show you how to tap into your flow state and turn every task into a breeze. Now let's shift gears and talk about flow state, the holy grail of focus. You know that feeling when you're so immersed in a task that time just disappears? That's flow, and it's where you want to be. But here's the catch. Flow doesn't just happen by accident. You need to set the stage for it. One of the best ways to do that? Create focus rituals. No, I'm not talking about lighting incense or chanting mantras, though if that works for you, go for it. I mean simple routines that signal to your brain, hey, it's time to focus. For me, it's sitting down with a cup of coffee, throwing on my noise-canceling headphones, and playing some instrumental music. For you, it might be starting your day with a 5-minute stretch, or working at the same time every day. Whatever your ritual is, make it consistent. It'll train your brain to slip into focus mode faster. And before you know it, you'll be hitting that flow state on a regular basis. Let's take a leaf out of Cal Newport's book, Deep Work. Newport argues that the real key to productivity isn't doing more, it's doing more of the right things with intense focus. According to him, deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on cognitively demanding tasks. It's this focus that sets high achievers apart from everyone else. When you work in deep, uninterrupted sessions, you produce at a higher level and improve your skills faster than someone who's constantly distracted. Now that you understand deep work, what's the best way to maintain high focus and avoid getting stuck in an endless work cycle? You'll want to hear this next point. It could save you hours every week. Now, let's debunk a myth. You don't need to work 8 to 9 hours straight to get things done. What you really need is deep work, intense focus in short bursts. Instead of slogging through a long workday, try working in those 90-minute sprints we talked about earlier. During these deep work sessions, shut everything else out. No phone, no social media, and definitely no multitasking. You'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish in a short amount of time when you're 100% focused. Finally, let's talk about self-care. I know. Self-care is that advice everyone loves to give, but no one actually follows. But here's the thing. If you're not taking care of yourself, your focus will tank. Period. Your brain needs fuel to stay sharp, so make sure you're eating well, staying hydrated, and getting enough sleep. And don't skip exercise either. Even a 10-minute walk can clear your mind and boost your focus. So there you have it. The world's shortest focus course for people who can't stay on track. By clearing your mental clutter, narrowing your focus, time blocking your day, and practicing deep work, you'll be able to crush your to-do list like a pro. Remember, it's not about working harder, but working smarter with intense focus. Now, before you go, there's one more step that'll turbocharge your focus and set you up for success every single day. A morning routine designed specifically for high achievers. If you want to master your mornings and hit the ground running, click on the video that's popping up on your screen right now.